So I've been watching a lot of the YouTube commentaries from sports to um, politics to um, community activists, um, black social media, and I see that there is still a lot of protesting due to many black men and women who were murdered at the hands of police officers. And I see how the NBA players are protesting, uh, NFL protesting, some of the MLB players are also protesting. One thing I've noticed about them protesting against what they see as far as the police officers who are using their badge, power, position, status, and authority to get a free pass to murder black men. And then I see some people who are on the other side with the badges who believe that because the people they are murdering may have a past history, that it's okay, that this killing should be justifiable. Even if it's a 17-year-old child who's been murdered, an 18-year-old child being murdered, these people are siding with the badges and believing that the murders that they're committing is justifiable just because a person have a past. But yet, they don't know that a lot of these officers that are doing these murders, they also have a past. Some of them are tax evaders. Some of them don't pay their taxes. Some of them are abusive to their wives. Some of them lie about the statistics when they're writing up their reports. And some of them actually are criminals themselves. But that is not being portrayed in the media when they talk about these different incidents where black men and women are being murdered. Another thing I wanted to address is that players, NBA players, celebrities, baseball players, football players, I understand your pain and how you are feeling while you are playing the game. But what about your businesses? People you have hired, people you have brought under your wings. You don't know that their process can be the same as these race soldier police officers that are murdering people. If you take a look at some of the people, you're not hiring people that look like yourself. You're not even hiring people that look like yourself to look after your children. You're even marrying people that are different and not like you. The problem is that you have to bring everything to the forefront. Don't just be angry about the fact that these police officers are murdering black men, innocent black men, beating, killing, kneeling on their necks, beating young black boys and putting their face onto pavement of the ground. Got little babies also on the pavement on hot ground, face down. They're being called, police are being called based on what they deem to be a crime. And then when they come out, and they always want to say that the black person either was not in compliance or resisting. But these are the same people that are not in compliance when it comes to the government. And they know what I'm talking about. And yet they have the audacity to use that they are in fear. What I don't understand, when you're in fear and you have a gun, you can go hunting a lion, you can go and hunt down a snake, you can go and hunt down a bear, you can go and hunt down a a buffalo, all these things that are bigger than you, man, but yet you are afraid of a black man. I really cannot believe that you really are afraid. But you justify your behavior and your conduct in order for the public and society to side with you, which is sickening. It's really sickening. Even the people who are in agreement, who look like the people they're killing. Some of these people are saying, well, they should have complied. What about the people that are complying? What about them? They deserve to die too? It doesn't make any sense. But I think that ignorance is always behind justifying wrong and shameful behavior of police officers. In the past, they used water hose on black people. In the past, they used the military to bomb houses, black houses, that is. In the past, they used insurance companies. In the past, they used banks. All of these different entities and corporations that was used in an evil manner to hurt and hate one group of people. And these are the same people that are running the laws, making the laws, making up rules as they go along. These are the same people. And I understand the protests, but if you're going to protest, you need to protest against everything. You need to be protesting against the way that the insurance companies, where you pay for your car insurance, you pay for your life insurance, you pay for your home insurance. You need to be protesting against that, because when they see that you are black, the rates go up higher. The rates go up higher. Even when you purchase a car, you need to be protesting against that. When you purchase a home, protest against the mortgage companies, the banks who see you coming and don't show you any compassion the way they show others. Even the credit companies, you need to be protesting against that. You even need to be protesting against Hollywood when they portray you and stereotype you as a thug, a pimp, a homosexual. They protest, they show you in a negative light. Like, for instance, I'm going to use Billy Porter. He is so talented. He is so creative, inventive, and he can sing so beautifully. But the only thing that Hollywood recognizes about him is his sexuality. And that's sad. That is really sad. But he seems to think that he's accepted and being loved by Hollywood. But the only reason why they do is because he is just like them. Another thing is that when you guys look back at all the sitcoms that entertained you, which ones can you truly say changed your life in a positive manner? Which sitcom you can truly say, a black sitcom I'm talking about, that you can truly say that when I watched that sitcom, it brought positive feedback to my thought process, made me want to do some great things in my life, made me want to write, be a journalist, a writer, director, or whatever, some great things. Like, for instance, The Cosby Show. I thought it was very positive. And the little bitty parts that were negative wasn't so bad. I think it was one time when the sitcom when they wanted to portray one of Bill Cosby's friends as a father who had a daughter who was on crack, but yet he's a doctor getting paid high dollars, but the daughter was on crack, not on cocaine, but they say crack. Wow. Different world. I won't say that all of it was negative. Parts of the young college women sleeping around with different men and they thought it was cool. That was not something that I would have wanted to see in that sitcom. Another thing was that when the men that were like lusting after the young women, to me, that was not anything positive. But when you see sitcoms, they came up with Living Single, The Game, let's see, these new reality shows that are playing now. It was so many black sitcoms that came in the late 80s, early 90s that did not portray black people in a positive manner. But yet, we were entertained and we laughed about it. But when I go back and I look at that garbage, I think that this is what Hollywood wanted. And most of the celebrities, I don't think they ever thought that, you know what, I'm just making people laugh, but I'm not looking to change anybody's thought process. I'm not looking to do anything thought-provoking. I'm not looking to do anything profound. I'm just getting paid. That's what most of the black celebrities that I saw, that was what I got from them. And I'm talking about the ones who was a part of sitcoms that was garbage. And it didn't portray them in a positive light at all. And now we have the director, writer, producer, and everything else, Tyler Perry, who is getting paid all of this money. He built his own empire, own studio, and I'm thinking he's going to bring positive light. The roles of black people going to be just as Chadwick Boseman stated, positive roles where black people will be seen in a positive light, doing great things, being successful, not being pimps, deadbeat dads, whoremongers, all in the LGBT community. Every sitcom, every episode where it has to be that or nothing. That's what Hollywood tells any black writer, director, and producer, that you have to allow that, or else we will not give you the opportunity. And that's sickening. That's really sickening that you don't have the power to tell Hollywood that this is the way things are going to go. You don't have enough money to tell Hollywood that I'm going to run my show the way I want to. To me, that shows me that you are still a slave under Hollywood's thumb and the powers that be. And the reason why you insist on being that slave because of money. You can't seem to be a man and woman of integrity, a man and woman with backbone. You have to truly be a slave in order to allow an industry, an organization, or cult to run your thought process as to how you need to do your movies, your sitcoms, your TV interviews, your cartoons, or whatever. You allow them to transform your mind and your thinking process just the way they want in order for money. It's funny how when a black person who is a celebrity who is having a conversation with another black person about the community, about things they've learned about religion, about history. And then all it takes is somebody from another group chiming in on that conversation and will take that black man or black woman's words and turn them around for their own personal gain. I'm talking about the person looking in from the outside to make it appear that that black man or woman are either racist or saying something they don't have no business saying. And that's not true. But I need that black man or that black woman to not be spineless and be a man and woman of integrity and to stand strong. And whatever they have learned from what they've been taught, whether it be by books or whether it be by a teacher or leader, don't let people tear you down, make it appear that your leader was wrong in the information he provided to you so that you can look like a spineless jellyfish in front of the world or look like you're caping for them. It don't make any sense. If the leader provided you with information and you read books and you found out that the information was true, then you stand strong and you go with that information. If you got enough money that you know that your family will be set, then why would you be so concerned about what they can do to you financially? If you know what you standing on is truth, then you remain in your truth and keep that truth. Don't hide from the truth. Don't backpedal and say, you know what, I was wrong. You guys are right. Going on apology tours, going on learning tours. And then some of your so-called friends who have the audacity to go on DJ Vlad's podcast and say otherwise, or even say that you are wrong. These are the brothers that they don't have a backbone and they're not looking out for you. These are the brothers who are trying to get paid. And if they really cared about you, they would not have even spoke on you. When DJ Vlad started having a conversation about you, what they should have did was cut it short or say, you know what, I'm not going to finish this interview if it's about my brother. DJ Vlad is nothing but a vulture, culture vulture. And what he does is he go and find spineless black celebrities. Spineless black celebrities who don't have any integrity and dignity for themselves to stand up. And he goes and finds them and get them to attack other black people. Lord Jamar and Godfrey, I've seen stand up against DJ Vlad. Mainly Lord Jamar. Sometimes Godfrey can be persuaded a little bit, but I do know that he stands up against DJ Vlad. DJ Vlad is out to make money off of black people. You guys need to open your eyes and see what kind of person he is. He's not your friend. He goes behind your back and talk about you all the time. But you guys believe that he's got your back and he doesn't. He can care less. He's trying to make money off you black people. So what does he do? He's very divisive. He go and find, oh, you had beef with this black person? Tell me about what happened or whatever. And then he obtained all of this information and he goes back and tell that same black person that that other person had beef with, and then cause more problems in the black community. But you guys have allowed this man to do this. You guys have invited him to the cookout because you think he's down, and he's not. He can care less. He can care less. But the thing is that when you guys don't have that conscious level to see what is he up to, why is he interviewing me today about this or that, then you fall in his hands and you let him say things to you or even ask you questions. But the way he does it, he's very ruthless and very persuasive in how he does it. When he talks to you and he asks you questions, he slides in certain inserts, and then all of a sudden I'll hear the person he's interviewing saying, yeah, I agree. Like Lunel, I couldn't believe what I was hearing from her, how she allowed him to persuade her to agree when she didn't even know the situation. She didn't even know the situation, but she was so eager to just chime in with whatever his questions was and to lead and be persuaded by him. Instead of saying, no, DJ, where'd you get your information? And is this accurate? How do you know this? She should have been digging and probing on him, but yet he digged and probed on her till he got her to agree with him, which is sickening to watch. And then he has an audacity to try and tear down a leader he know nothing about. Every time the media provides information to a source, they take it and run with it, especially if it's against a black man or a black woman. They take that information and they run with it. And they try and make it appear so true. They try and make it appear so true that sometimes some black people are even persuaded to believe it. And it's mind-boggling. How can you not go and investigate yourself to find out, is this information he's providing accurate? Or the media, is this information accurate? Where did they get this information from? And for the love of God, the people whose children are being murdered by these criminal thugs, executioner gang members who call themselves officers, family, please stop acting like a field slave, as if you don't have a right to be angry and upset for somebody murdering, killing, beating, and stabbing your children. Somebody who is supposed to protect, somebody who is supposed to uphold the law. Stop being afraid to say what you really feel. Just because you're going to get paid, have some integrity, some dignity, and stand up. I'm quite sure that Botham Jean would not have been okay with his brother hugging Amber Guyger. I'm quite sure of that. I'm quite sure he would not have said, oh, please, don't let her go to jail. I'm quite sure he would not have said that. He would have wanted her behind bars. Nobody know what he was dealing with when she was alive. She could have been harassing him the whole time, but nobody spoke about that. Nobody even checked that out. Nobody knows. Enough of this Rodney King mess. Can we all get along? We've already established the fact that the way that they behave towards us when they pull us over, even when they stop us, and it could be something so small like your tail light was out. Sandra Bland did not have to die the way she did. It makes no sense. And then for her life to be shattered just by a video of her being angry and cursing. People act like they don't understand how when officers approach you, not every officer that approach you come in peace and come to resolve the issue. Just like that officer who pulled over this man who was in a nice Dodge, brand new Dodge. He showed his video. And he had on his license plate a cover, a plastic cover. So the officer said it was against the law. The black guy, purchased his vehicle like that. He had no idea that he can get a ticket because he had this plastic over his license plate. He said he had been driving for 5 months. The officer asked the man for his ID and his driver's license, his insurance, and he provided all of that information. This man was in full compliance. The officer looked all through his car. His car was clean. You could tell it was brand new. It even smelled brand new. The way the officer's nose and how he was looking, you could tell it was brand new. But just because he was driving past through an environment where the officer said it was a high crime, drug infested area, he associated this black man with that area. So what he did is he went back to his car, ran whatever history of this black guy's license, and he came back and he said, "I'm just going to give you a warning." Okay, write the ticket, give me a warning, and then I'm on my way. This man waited for over 25 minutes for that officer to return. Then he told him to get out of his vehicle. So the guy gets out of his vehicle and goes to the back of his car because that's where the officer led him. And when he did, there was a canine truck with the officer getting out with his dog. The officer walks alongside of this grass, lets his dog pee or whatever he let him do. Then he allows this dog to get in this man's car. Now, we don't know if that dog had feces or urine on his body, but you never did see the officer wipe the dog's body off. You never did see that on the camera, but yet he let this dog get in this man's car. To me, it showed disrespect, disregard, degrading, humiliation, and I don't care what my dog may have, but he's going to get in your car and, the N word, because I don't have no respect for you. And even though you didn't break no laws except that which was on the back of your license plate, I can still do whatever I want to do to let you know that you just another N. Then the young man got his ticket, his driver's license back, and his insurance card and information back from the officer, and he got back in his car. I would not have gotten back in my car unless I demand that those officers make sure that they clean my car out, because whatever that dog brought from off that grass got into my car. And that can be something that can be harmful to my body if I bring myself back to my car and I sit down. But did that officer care? He did not, because they wanted to harass that man. There was no reason to bring that canine in his car. The officer did not even say when he came to his car that he smelled marijuana. He didn't say any of that. And to me, that just goes to show you that they are lawless and they don't follow the laws when it comes to black people. Am I saying all officers? No. But they know who they are because they hide behind the keyboard. And every time a crime takes place or something occurs regarding a black person, they always go on their commentary saying things like, well, he had a pass. Well, he should have complied. Most of you guys don't even comply at all. And you breaking laws left and right. But yet, they still see you fit to be an officer, which is sickening. Then what gets me is that you have a young guy who was in a parking lot getting ready to play, I guess, basketball of some sort with his friends, African-American guy. And then the police drive up for whatever reason because somebody called and said that the young black guy looked suspicious. But he's waiting for his friend because they're getting ready to play some sports. But what happened? That entire situation turned different because the officer gets in his face. This young man is not trying to do anything wrong. He's not breaking no crime. But my problem is that the officer gets in his face to let him know that, look, I can get in your face, I can break the law, and I can do whatever I want to because you black and I don't care. I'm going to do this. Now, remind you, his friend who was in the car, I think he was either white American or Mexican American. But however, he's looking on and he's seeing the officers, and the black guy's friend is trying to say like he didn't do anything, whatever. The officers don't even care what he's saying. And even to the point where this guy gets upset with the officers and start cursing them. Did the officers go and arrest him? No, they didn't mess with him at all. But then the officer shoves and pushes this black guy. And then he states that the black guy was trying to fight him. I didn't see nowhere in the video where that black guy tried to fight him at all. But however, he was arrested and he was angry. So he was cursing. Yes, he was cursing. And his mouth was very foul. And I don't condone us saying things that are offensive to people in order to get our point across. But the way that he was treated, it was unjustifiable. And later on, they ended up letting him out of jail, and he was still upset.